Hello and welcome to the EEPROM 9. We have another teardown item. And some of you might be saying, oh Simon, you've done one of these before at university. It's like, yeah, I kind of did. But you don't really get a good look inside. And well, now we have higher resolution and all that good jazz. Why not utilise that? So here we have a military version of the DVW Microelectronics Husky, who you all appeared on my computer collection video. Once this is done, I can finally put him away because he's just been sitting randomly around all over the place. So we've already done away with the front screws. So you've got your membrane keyboard, similar to the ZX81, but does actually have clicky dome switches underneath to the PCB that's underneath, complete with a little piezo speaker hiding under there and soldered directly, going under there and soldered to the output pins. I haven't bothered wiring up to see what, but you can see how they waterproof this thing. They just elasticed the shit out of it with silicone, which is an effective method, let's be honest. And then of course you got your standard gasket. Almost has a bit of an old prototype vibe with a lot of these older models. This is my third one of these. Yes, I've somehow managed to get 3 like really rare vintage computers. Let's see if we can get... That's the only trouble with this particular lens. It's not the sharpest lens in the universe. But this is the RAM board. It uses pretty standard... Oh no, HM6167LP-8 chips. Not what you're going to find in a lot of other computers, unfortunately. Like the what is it? 4116 in the IBM 5150 or the 64 variant. So we'll do away with these 2 screws here and we'll lift the RAM board off and show you underneath. So we'll use my Swiss Army knife. I totally haven't chewed to complete shit because I totally don't chew everything I can handle. Like an infant. So we lift the RAM board up and we get our first look. So we've got the standard LCD, silica gel pack. But interestingly, unlike all my other ones, the ROM chips are on their own separate board in this one, which I find really interesting. I haven't seen that before with these. You can kind of see it. Yeah, I think I got the focus about right. You got standard stuff like the DC to DC converter that lives here, an inverter unit down here, the microprocessor and that are all where they should be. But I just find that really interesting. I don't know if I've got... Oh, I can't show it on the camera anyway. So now we're going to try and remove this RAM board to see what's under this ROM board to see what's under it. And I can tell you it's the processor and its I/O chip, but I want to show those. So we'll dig out a brand new, brand spanking new driver kit that I brought for working on my bicycle that, well, can be used for just about anything. Find a suitable size screw. I'm going to guess it's going to be the 5.5mm. Ah, what do you know, it's the 5.5mm. When you take this stuff apart enough, you sort of get a good idea on sort of screwdriver sizes after trying a few variants. Oh yeah, this has an eject thing. I was trying to rip it off and it just wasn't coming. It's just like, yeah, because it has an eject thing on it. These are good for getting the torque on the bike. I've also got a torque variant that you can adjust the torque on and make crazy tight. I'm not too worried if I accidentally damage something with this particular unit because he doesn't work. But while I do the screws, I'm going to pause the video because I'm just going to be doing screws and all that jazz. It does mean I have to do editing. Boo! Turns out this display is nigh on preventing a lot of this from coming apart. But as you can see, there's a whole lot of standard logic chips, and even some more RAM under there. Same type as what's up here under the LCD display about here. This is basically held in with silicon potting compound. It's very difficult to get a good view in there because of the angle, not allowing a lot of light in, but you have some standard sort of stuff to do with the serial port. There's even a 3-volt battery up here. So this thing actually takes about 3 batteries in total. It's got an internal 3-volt lithium battery. Then it's got this little one, which is a mercury cell. Then it has the main battery bank that comes in here. And he is hooked up. But yeah, this one doesn't function, sadly. So I'll see if I can get the RAM board out, the ROM board out to show you the processor, but it's going to be tricky, so I'm going to pause the video again so you don't have to deal with that. Okay, after a little fighting, we were able to get him open and the ROM board out, who you can see down here. So, unsurprisingly, it connects into the normal ROM sockets. Interestingly, the ROM socket does not actually connect to all 4 of them like I thought it would have done, but actually connects to this socket up here, just the one. And then the chip that would normally be here is actually sitting up here on the ROM board, and I'm actually looking at one of my other ones, 174. Interesting, he's not the same. Very interesting. But he is connected there to where the ceramic one is, which is also socketed. The NEC 800 N1, which is the 1 MHz version of this chip, is basically a low power Z80 clone, and then the chip next to it is an I/O chip. I actually have a spare one of these chips just floating around in my parts bin from another bit of test equipment I took apart a few years ago at uni. So there's not a huge amount of changes to the standard motherboard, in all honesty. You got, your standard CPU, only we've got a missing logic IC, and I'm going to bring this closer so you get more of the resolution of it. You got the ROM socket, so this allows it to be expanded to 8 sockets instead of the standard out of the box 4, but this one only has the 4 ROMs installed, which is quite interesting. You wouldn't expect that. The ROMs are also in the same order as they are in the actual main board, and if I remember, I put some images in that I've taken with my Fuji camera on these. But the back, you'll see the point where the normal MM58174AN chip would be. It's just a socket. Oh no, it's actually the MD74SC139, who you can see mounted here, and is your nice ceramic chip, which is also socketed. You can see that, and he connects to the board. I was getting that one mixed up with that one. Easily done. Standard tantalum caps. I should check to see if they're shorted actually, because that's a very common failure in a lot of these sorts of things. I might give it a go at restoring him at one point, but the LCD's smashed, so that's going to be limited. So I'm thinking more parts units to keep the other 2 DVWs alive, because spare parts for these, you can imagine, are non-existent. But all in all, that is the proper, where you actually get to see the guts of the DVW Husky computer, with ROM expansion board, which was an added bonus. You can kind of see the battery there. Right, shiny corner thing. You can see the LCDs totaled as well, sadly. But yeah, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I've got to go edit this thing. Yay. and we'll see you in another video. Hope you all enjoyed, because as anyone knows, I love this Husky stuff. Also, plastic insulation. Don't want to be shorting out those contacts and making things smoke.